So basically, yeah, I'm going to speak about suicide from a spiritual perspective. And so just for the people who don't know me, I'm Anne Varney, and I help people with soul loss and free them from the core wounds or core beliefs and other self-destructive beliefs in order for them to live life freely whilst they have the ultimate state of transformation. I also assist my clients in freeing themselves from the chains that they've wrapped themselves in, and with a no-nonsense approach, getting deep work for the client and deep transformation, because I work with their energy, their mind, the body and the spirit, and I also work holistically with them. So today, as I say, today I'm going to talk about suicide from a spiritual point of view. If there's anybody that you feel this can help, please share with them, because it's really important that people speak about these things. You know, I have so many clients that they've had loved ones who've committed suicides, and they think if only they said something or what have you. And I just see so many people, and young men, it seems to be a big one. It really is. For some reason, the share button's missing here. You'll be able to share it, darling, when I finish. I'm not unsure why the share button's not there. Unsure. Hello, Anna. How you doing, lovely? It's lovely to see you. So it is. Let me see, who else have I got? Hi, Caroline. How you doing? Hi, Deborah. So I'm just going to get on with it. I'm not going to speak because it's valuable information, and I don't really want to cut in about or what have you. So it's suicide from a spiritual point of view, and most people find it a taboo subject, because let's be honest, we all die at some time, but the only difference is that we just don't know how or when we're going to die, you know. And we probably all know someone who's taken their own life, or I know I certainly have, and it can be a terrible you know, a terrible thing for people, especially if it's someone who was close, or you have no idea they're even contemplating suicide or had those negative thoughts as they acted. You know, when you were around them, they were actually quite fun to be with. But a good one for that is Robin Williams. You know, I was really shocked at Robin Williams because he was such a character, you know, that loving comic character. And you always find the people who are very comical, they're the ones with the hidden demons, you know. Look at the Love Island's Caroline Flack, who again looked like she had everything going for her, you know, and not that long ago committed suicide. There's so many. So what I do know is we all start with a soul contract before birth. And I know that some people don't believe in all this, it's too woo-woo as they call it. But I have been connected with people who have passed over due to suicide, and all of them often regret it, as they realize they made they really made a mistake, and are now in the state of learning in the spiritual realms. And although I've heard some people say that their soul is in limbo, this is absolute rubbish. It really is rubbish, as they're now at peace and are surrounded by other spiritual guides and angels and their ancestors. And they enter a phase of re-educating the soul, which they reflect back on their life. It's like a spiritual holding room, you know, where they review their life from a perspective of, you know, a soul's perspective, and not an ego perspective, and how they lived their life and how their choices got them where they are. And even though they left of their own accord and breaking that soul contract, they're still greeted on the other side with the same, if not more, listen to this, guys, with more spiritual support than the rest of us experience in death. Because these are the spiritual guides that are there to help orientate us into the next realm, you know. So for the people who have suffered their loved ones with suicide, I can assure you, they have removed from any darkness that's been on them, depression, anxiety, negativity is gone, because they're now the light. And if I could explain to you this feeling of the light, I would, but it is impossible to explain. Think of a love or a happiness that really overwhelmed you, you had tears with it, times that by 1,000. And that's the feeling of the light. It's so outstanding, it's miraculous. It really releases all low-level emotions from the soul. It's such a beautiful, and I've touched it, and I've only touched it just like I'm talking minute touched it twice in my life, and it is the most outstanding, miraculous feeling that there's no feeling that can describe it. There is just no feeling that can describe it. So also take time to connect to them, those loved ones that cross over, as you have the power to do that. And I connect so many people to their loved ones, and they certainly wouldn't want you suffering with your grief and your anger and the sadness, all the stuff, those emotions that get us with grief, that comes up for us. And allow yourself the time to grieve. But remember, they're completely by your side. Just ask them for confirmation. They'll give it to you when they're ready, or when you're ready for that matter, And these signs can be anything from a coin. I always get 5p coins, a robin. I get my 2 robins outside, from my mum and Shirley. And Sybil saying, I experienced this loved one's here, unexplainable. It really is, Sybil. It is such an intense, amazing feeling. It's very hard to describe. Or you maybe hear a piece of music that they loved, you both loved. My mother sends me, my mother always used to sing to me the Celine Dion, Is It Always Love You, or I can't remember the name of the song now, but I know whenever it comes on. I know when I hear that song that my mum's round me. Or a sign on a billboard, Ask for a sign. Yeah, keep asking, they'll give you, they really will. And profound symbol, yes. So how can I get confirmation about a miscarriage? What do you mean by that, Jerry Beth? What do you mean by how can you get confirmation? Hello, Janet, my brother took his life. Did he, Janet? I never knew that. Neither I did. Oh, well, honestly, I'll be looking down on you, darling. Did you know what Islam says about that? No, I don't actually, darling. I don't know what they say about that. Do you do one-on-one readings as well? Yes, I do. I don't do readings as such, but it's more what I do is I actually help you as opposed to doing readings. I can do readings, but I don't do them. Hi, Tina. How you doing, darling? Sent to, yes, sent's a big one. Hi, Karina. And there's a lot of myths about suicide. So I'm going to go through a few of those myths and I'm going to give you the facts. And this is from the Samaritans website. So if anybody really wants to go and see any of these, for the people who are going around for other parts of the world, the Samaritans is a UK, I'm not sure if you get it in America or places like that, but the Samaritans is a UK help, a volunteer help thing that actually helps people. Yeah. I need to hear this. Just lost my close friend to suicide. 3-2. Yeah, my thoughts are with you, Kimber. Abortion, Jerry Beth. Generally, what I perceive with abortion is, excuse me, is that the soul contract is they just want to experience human life, even for a short time. Yeah. And that's their soul contract because they know they're going away again anyway, So anyway, here's some myths and facts about suicide from the Samaritans website that I'd like to share with you all. So myth number 1, people who talk about suicide aren't serious and won't go through with it. Fact. People who kill themselves have often told someone that they do not feel life is worth living or they have no future. Some may have actually said they want to die. And this is straight from their website, what I'm saying. It's possible that someone might talk about suicide as a way of getting attention, in the sense of calling out for help. It's important to always take someone seriously if they talk about feeling suicidal. Helping them get the support they need could save their life. And the majority of people who feel suicidal do not actually want to die. They don't want to live the life they have. That's the issue, you know. Jerry Bress says, I once had a dream about a girl kissed my cheek saying, I love you, mummy. Oh, wow. Wow. So myth number 2. If a person is serious about killing themselves, then there's nothing you can do about it. Fact. Yes, it is. Because feeling suicidal can be is mostly temporary, you know, unless there's mental health issues going on there. And even if someone has been feeling low, anxious, or struggling to cope for a long period of time, this is why getting the right kind of support at the right time is so important, you know. Myth number 3. You have to be mentally ill to think about suicide. Fact. 1 in 5 people have thought about suicide at some time in their life. I know I certainly have, when I was a lot younger. And not all people, and I certainly didn't have mental health issues. I didn't think. I was just at a very low point in my life. You know, I was very, I feel, the thing with suicidal people as well is they feel they have no one to speak to. You know, that because they don't want to be a burden. They don't want to be a burden on people, you know. So fact is 1 in 5 people have thought about suicide. Not all people who die by suicide have mental health problems at the time they die. And many people who kill themselves do suffer with their mental health, typically to a serious degree. Yeah. Myth number 3. People who are suicidal want to die. Fact. The majority of people who feel suicidal do not actually want to die. They do not want to live the life they have, you know. And this distinction may be small, but it's very important. It really is. And, you know, it's why talking through other options at the right time is so vital. It really, really is. Myth number 4. Talking about suicide is a bad idea, as it may give someone the idea to try it. Fact. It's a taboo subject. It really is a taboo topic, hence why I'm talking about it. And often people who are feeling suicidal don't want to worry or burden anyone. And I'm talking from experience, because we don't want to put our worries onto someone else, you know, and we don't want to discuss it because we don't want people to think less of us as also by discussing it, you know. But by asking someone directly about suicide, you give them permission to tell you how they feel, you know. So if there's anybody in your lives at this moment in time, guys, and you feel that they have a suicidal tendency, and if you feel that you can't speak to them, if they would just, you know, put things away, and this has happened with me, write a letter, write them a letter, tell them how you feel. And be very honest, you know, of what would happen if they did do anything by committing suicide, you know, how much they would be missed, how much they're loved, you know, so that they feel that that experience that someone actually does care for them, someone does love them, you know. And really, people who have felt suicidal often say what a huge relief it is talking about it, you know. And so really go out there and speak about it. Myth number 5. Most suicides happen in the winter months. Fact. Suicide is complex. And this is straight from the Samaritans websites, guys. I'm reading directly from it. It's not just related to the seasons and the climate, but hotter or colder. It's having more or less light. Suicide is more common in the spring, and there's noticeable peak in risk on New Year's Day, you know. Myth number 6. People who say they're going to take their own life are just attention seeking and shouldn't be taken seriously. Fact. People who say they want to end their life should always be taken seriously. Yeah. And it may well be that they want attention in the sense of calling out for help. Think about it. If someone is saying this for they need attention, there's something going on in their life that they need help with. Yeah. and helping them get support may really save their life or help their life, you know, give them a better understanding. So I ask this of you. If anyone is saying that they're having a hard time, take time out of your day. Just give them your ear for an hour or so, because you know yourself that when we do share our problems, you know, it just doesn't seem as bad as when we keep it to ourselves, you know. Any questions, guys? Hi, Louise. How you doing, darling? Hi, Crystal. Hi, Jacqueline. It's good to talk, Janet. Yes, very much so. And also for the family who are left behind, because they feel isolated also. Because there's orbs flying about here, which is good. You know, it's really it's good to talk. It's good to really, and not only that, when you talk about it, you're releasing all that pent up energy, those negative feelings and emotions that are trapped in your energy field. Because what happens if you don't talk about that grief, you close your heart center down. And your heart center is where your love is, and it can make you become bitter, it can make you become angry, you know, all those emotions that it brings up. It really does. And it really does, you know, so it's really, if there's someone in your life at this moment, that if you know, even picking the phone up to them is going to help them, do it. Because trust me, you'll regret that you didn't if something did happen, you know. So let me see what the questions we've got here. Tell me, guys, where are you all from? I've got so many names here that I'm not sure where everybody's from. Where are you all from? I'm just trying to lighten it because I know it's a dark, taboo subject, but I really think people need to speak about this more, you know. And the young guys are really, because they feel they can't speak, you know, because our society doesn't sometimes allow them because they feel weak if they do speak. Young guys seem to be really, you know, everybody does, but it seems to be younger guys. Jerry Beth says, my boyfriend has done this twice. We know he knows don't want to die. He's schizo and bipolar. Okay, been in hospital for going on 7 weeks, acting weird. Yeah, quite. Yeah, very good. First time. My brother passed 8 months old. Okay, blue baby. Yeah, Southern USA, Florida, currently in Washington State, currently Sweden. Oh, that's lovely to see that these are all from all over here. Hi, Wolfgang. How you doing, lovely? Janet, I'm a good listener. I wish I was like this when I was younger. Yeah, the room still laughing like, yeah, totally get you, Janet. Get you there. That's why I moved out of it. Yeah. Hi, Kirsty. Sorry, how you doing, lovely? So it's a really powerful subject. It really is. Really, from a spiritual perspective, I hear so many people saying that when they commit suicide, they're in limbo and they're not, pardon the pun, let into the pearly gates, as so to speak. It's not true. It's not true, guys. They've got more spiritual support than just when we die naturally, you know, because they need that spiritual support, and they don't have those low-level emotions, you know, the anxiety, the depression, the sadness, the whatever's caused them to, the loneliness, because loneliness is a big one, that has caused them to take their lives. They don't have all those emotions. All those emotions are wiped clean. They just look to see what is actually, you know, what they've learned from it, about their choices and things like that. And I've crossed many people over also, and it's a beautiful thing to do. It really is. It's and as I say, the light, you just can't explain the light. It's the most beautiful, powerful, enlightening experience is all I can say, is that light. as Sybil said, it's you can't explain it. You really can't explain it, and they're bathed in that. They really are bathed in it, and they don't have those emotions. But they're with you. You just have to ask. But when we are filled in that grief, when and there's a lot of anger with that grief also. But we are flying about there, so there's a lot of there's a bigger one. There's that anger and that grief, it really shuts that heart wall down, and you really need to keep that heart wall open. So I would suggest, I've got a free masterclass actually on my website. It doesn't do with suicide, but what it does do, the masterclass, it tells you about working with the shadow self. And the shadow self is that we really have the deeper, darker recesses of us, But if you've got low self-esteem and I'm talking about very low self-esteem, very low self-worth. I mean, if you're just a wee bit, it's okay. Do some mirror work first before you go and do it. And there's also ancestral work in the free masterclass also. It's very powerful, and there's also resetting your energy and energy at DNA level. So I'll actually pin up my website here. So if anybody wants to go and visit that free masterclass, on you go. It's really it's great for people. It really is. All these orbs today love it. They love it today because we're talking about a subject that really needs to be talked about, Sybil. It really does. So let me just see what everybody's saying. Kimber says, where can we need more on this subject as well? Where can we read more, do you mean? Well, online, it really, you would probably have now the facts and the myths I actually got from a website. There's actually a self-help website, for people who feel suicidal and what have you, so they have someone to talk to. So those kind of sites, places would be able to help you with that about suicide. The web is full of a lot of things that can really help you about all this. If you're needing to be released from that grief, I can help you. From that anger and or if you want that connection, I could certainly help you for that. And if you want, if you need that help, just send me a private message and we can have a wee chat. Yeah. But yeah, it's a really subject that really needs people, especially the young ones of today. I don't know what's going on with our society just now. Especially this coronavirus and what have you, the world's went, pardon my French, tits up. It really has. I mean, I'm meant to be going to India on Sunday, but I can't go because Doha Airport is closed. The airport to India because of the coronavirus. And then I'm not down in the coronavirus, but it's just a strength of the flu, really, And what's this about this toilet rolls? What's going on about all that? The hand sanitizer and all the rest of it. I get it to be careful, but if you really look at what's actually going on, I actually think there's something else going on in the world. That's the government's trying to take our eyes off of what else is going on there. And I'm not a conspiratorial theorist or what have you, but I think it's just going off the wall, so it is. Some will say no question is a true question. Yep, totally. Jerry Beth, people or souls stay to-do lessons, just asking. People or souls stay at to-do lessons, just asking. I don't know. Or if this is should be good. I don't understand your question, Jerry Beth. Can you say it again, darling? Yes, Sybil. There's no toilet papers in the shops. It's ridiculous. So it is. It's absolutely ridiculous. Teresa says, "Enlightened is light. It's in the word. Blessings to you." Yes, it really is in the light. It really is. yeah, you couldn't make it, and I can't get to India, you know. So we're trying, and I booked the time off for a holiday. I was meant to be going over there to a meditation yoga retreat, but I can't go. Waiting on word to see about my flights. It's just ridiculous. So it is. So I'm having. So does anybody know where in the world is safe? You know, is there anywhere that's not been hit by this media things? You know, does anyone know where it's safe in the world to go for a nice wee break? Yeah. We'll love to know your answers. Yeah. And tell me, what's it like where you are? Are you having as much effect of the coronavirus as what is out there on the news? Well, I don't watch the news, see, so I know the reason I knew about the door was the retreat I was going to actually told me. You know, the airline company didn't tell me. It was the retreat that told me in India. Yeah, Amazon jungle, Sybil. The Amazon jungle, yes. Great, absolutely amazing. Yeah. Any questions, guys, about the suicide from a spiritual perspective, or anything else for that matter? What else would you like for me to do in a Facebook Live about spirituality, or even about things that are happening in life? You know, tell me in the comments. What would you like to hear about? Hello, Denise. How are you doing, my darling? I've not seen you for a while. Lovely to see you. No questions, guys. Thank you for joining me. It's been really good that you've joined me for this live, because I think it's really important. And if anybody would like the free masterclass, if they're feeling those negative thoughts, just pop over to my website, annvarney.com. I've put it in the pin post, and this will help you work with your shadow self, the ancestors, and reset your energy at a DNA level. And also, please like and share and subscribe on my YouTube channel, where all my videos get uploaded, you know. And also there's new videos going on. I've just uploaded quite a few videos about the shadow self. Sybil says, how can I unlock my third eye completely? That takes a lot of work. Well, I'm saying it takes a lot of work. It can take a lot of work, but it can also go like that, you know. Having difficulty with it, yes. So really what you need to do is, what I would do there is I would actually tune into myself, so go into a meditation, and I would actually ask why you can't unblock the third eye. And you maybe not get the answer to start with, but you will get the answer if you keep asking the question. And other ways of asking questions is before you go to sleep at night also. So if there's something I need to know, and I can't get in my meditations or what have you, or when I connect to myself, is I'll actually ask before I go to sleep at night.